What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to another roundup episode, keeping you up to date on all the latest news and rumors. And today we're going to continue the coverage as we head into SummerSlam later on this month, and as we are on the road to the event because Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live has been interesting as of late, specifically SmackDown when it comes to building up towards their big matches. Before we get into a cheap plug, if you guys haven't checked out my previous videos, make sure to do that to be fully up to date on all the latest in regards to WWE 2K19, as this week WWE Games ended up revealing the new game mode that is going to be coming out, which is the 2K19 Towers. But within that reveal information, we also got more indirect info, which I made sure to break it down for you guys, so make sure to check it out if you haven't just yet. Nonetheless, guys, getting into today's roundup, and I want to start off with something that you guys probably noticed, the fact that Nia Jax wasn't on Monday Night Raw this week, and PW Insiders reporting why exactly that was, as they're indicating that Nia Jax is currently out of action with an injury of some sorts. Report also indicate that Nia Jax was recently taken off the road and hasn't been traveling with the WWE Monday Night Raw brand. As of right now, it is unknown exactly what type of injury she ended up suffering, so it is unknown when she's gonna be coming back. This is certainly not good news, especially as we head into SummerSlam, which is just 3 weeks away, and as you guys know, it is the second biggest pay-per-view for WWE. Even if she has a minor injury, because we are so close to the event, chances are that WWE is gonna leave her out of it. As always, I'll make sure to keep you guys up to date in regards to this, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't just yet. Moving on to some other news, and the latest in regards to Bobby Lashley, who was headed towards SummerSlam and was more than likely going to have a main event match, but unfortunately that changed last week after getting defeated by Roman Reigns. So as of right now, the speculation and the big question is, what exactly is he going to be doing at the event, because we know WWE gonna want to put him in the match card. So as seen on Monday Night Raw this week, WWE did an in-ring segment that saw Bobby Lashley get attacked by Elias after the two perform a song together. It was confirmed by Mike Johnson of PW Insider Elite that this segment was done to set up a match between the two at SummerSlam. As we ended up reporting before, it was rumored that Bobby Lashley was going to be inserted into the main event match, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, as a last minute change, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore, which, as I discussed before, is probably one of the worst ideas that WWE ended up not having this year by not having him in it, because again, we've seen Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar about 10 times over the last 2 years, and every single time the match seems to just be the same with maybe a different ending that we're never satisfied in regards to it. So very unfortunate that we're not having Bobby Lashley inserted into this triple threat match. But on the positive side of things, at least he is getting a match, and at least he is going against Elias, who is entertaining, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna be getting a much better storyline with them two than what we've seen Bobby Lashley involved in over the last couple of months. And continuing with the latest in regards to SummerSlam, this week on SmackDown Live we learned that the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship match has been changed, as Charlotte has been added into the match. This is something that has been rumored, and we ended up talking about it last week. And don't be surprised if you see other matches such as the Intercontinental Championship be changed, in which certain superstars are added to those matches. And so a follow-up to another report that we ended up covering, and that was a couple of tag teams that could possibly be reuniting this summer. As reported by Ringside News, you never know what could happen as we head into SummerSlam, and it seems like we could be seeing some popular teams reforming. It was noted on the Wrestling Observer Live that WWE is likely to reform two former tag team champions on the way to SummerSlam or shortly after. They indicated that plan could change other time, but based on what have been talked about so far, they're probably going to be uniting Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, as well as Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose as tag teams in the near future. As you guys know, Dean Ambrose should be coming back from his injury very soon. Reports even indicate that he could be returning later on this month, which could be maybe around SummerSlam, or if not, then early on next month. To add to this, WrestleVote recently did a Q&A on Twitter, and when someone asked them if there was anything good coming to the WWE Tag Team division, they reply with the following: "Depends if you thought American Alpha was any good." Of course, confirming that that is what WWE has planned as of right now. As for the other team, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose else, there were rumors indicating that these two were gonna split up and ultimately have a huge one-on-one match, but those plans were of course stopped because Dean Ambrose was injured, so they never turned on each other. So it feels like it more than likely going to happen just so that WWE could at least finish that storyline that they were telling. And moving on to some other news, and probably the biggest news coming out of this week Monday Night Raw and also SmackDown Live, is the fact that Brock Lesnar ultimately turned on Paul Heyman. And there's a lot of questions in regards to why exactly this is happening. There's a lot of confusion on how things went down and why, so I wanted to make sure to at least talk about it. So Paul Heyman couldn't produce Brock Lesnar for Kurt Angle until it was too late on Monday Night Raw, in which ultimately Kurt Angle ended up firing Paul Heyman, or at least terminating him from his contract. Then of course Lesnar ended up coming out. So a lot of fans have wondered if Paul Heyman was really fired on Monday Night Raw, since Angle did saw it and Lesnar didn't leave on the best terms with him. But it turns out his job with WWE is still solid. So no guys, Paul Heyman is not done with the WWE. This is all part of storyline obviously, and he is actually already booked for the go home show of SummerSlam. And here's actually an interesting fact about this segment, and that is the fact that Paul Heyman was full hands on in this segment. He more than likely wrote the whole thing. Up to why it went down the way that it did, there's multiple speculation, the first one being that this could be the end of Brock Lesnar run in the WWE, and because Paul Heyman has a different contract, or at least he is going to be staying with the WWE, they needed a way to separate him from Brock Lesnar. There's also the fact that WWE is trying to make Brock Lesnar the biggest heel right now to ultimately try to get 100% of the fans, or at least the majority of them, behind Roman Reigns when they face off each other at SummerSlam. So of course, having Brock Lesnar turn on the only person that supports him gonna get him heat no matter what. So again, this is all part of WWE trying to make Brock Lesnar the biggest heel in the company at the moment, as we are headed into SummerSlam. And I gotta say, this is probably the best chance that they have, because at the end of the night, there were some fans that were actually chanting "We want Roman," which is something I never thought I would actually hear. And moving on to another update, and we are talking about Rey Mysterio and his status with the WWE. So as you guys know, all reports indicate that he will be returning, we just don't know when it's going to happen. Rey Mysterio even indicated himself that they are working on a 2 to 3 year contract in which it will be a lighter and part-time schedule. The latest coming from the Wrestling Observer newsletter is that Rey Mysterio is very close to returning, and it was noted that Rey Mysterio's last indie dates appear to be in the first week of September. Obviously, one of those dates is the All In event, in which he is going to be participating in a 6-man tag team match. WWE pushed to bring Rey Mysterio in sooner than that, but he really wanted to do the Young Bucks and the Cody Rhodes Big Show in Chicago. So as of right now, it looks like everything is up to Rey Mysterio, and he's going to be coming back after the event, basically because he committed to it already, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to let anyone down that already bought tickets to the event, especially since he was one of the first major name that was confirmed. And the last report that I got for you guys is an update in regards to Daniel Bryan, who, as you guys know, has been a hot topic of discussion as of late because his contract is coming to an end early on in September. Reports indicate that WWE might not be too happy at the moment about he hasn't signed a new contract, making it seem like he is going to be leaving the WWE. It was noted on the Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE is starting to give in to Daniel Bryan, or at least give him a lighter schedule to make things easier for him to sign his new contract. Reports indicate that he has been taken off of some weekend house shows, and it was noted that they are working with him on that. So as of right now, Daniel Bryan hasn't signed a new contract just yet, but reports indicate that it is just a matter of time before it does happen. With WWE giving him more perks into his contract, there's almost no way that Daniel Bryan is not gonna sign a new contract. I personally believe that he already signed a new contract, and chances are we're just getting worked done in this whole situation. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. That is what I got for you on this roundup episode. If you haven't by now, do me a couple of things. Make sure to elbow drop a like on this video if you found it informative and if you are enjoying my WWE and WWE 2K19 coverage. As always, for all the latest, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. We on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Macho T, dig it.